Moshi Moshi, everybody! In today's episode, we're gonna be talking about sex, f***ing, penetration, penai and the vajayjay, Nihongo de chome chome. And before you continue watching this video, make sure that you like this video and that you subscribe to my channel so I can get me that YouTube money!
お金が好きなんだもんね。
Okay, so here's the deal. As a lot of you already know, I live in Japan. Now, of course, I can't speak on behalf of all Japanese people, but people who tend to have sex before they start an official relationship, they are kind of looked down upon. But personally, to me, I think that whole concept is really f***ing stupid. Here's the reason why. When you're in a relationship, theoretically speaking, you're supposed to only have sex with that person. And what if that sex is f***ing awful? Then you're stuck. Or you break up. This might be one of the reasons why Japan is having a population crisis. Not every penai is made for every vajayjay. Having said that, if you have a successful relationship and you did not have sex before you start dating, I mean, f***ing great, man. Like, seriously, good for you. But growing up in Canada, I feel like having sex before a relationship was pretty normal. If you agree with me or if you disagree with me, I'd love to hear your stories, so definitely let me know what you think in the comment section below. So, in today's video, I got a handful of my friends from Canada to see if they are okay with having sex before getting into an official relationship. Roll the video, please!
What's up?
Hi Rio, my name is Pia, and I know Rio from university. We went to university together.
My name is Sylvain, and I know Rio because I went to Japan.
Woo!
Yeah.
And what's the question? Do people in North America have sex before dating? What's the answer?
I probably think they do, but it depends on the people. For me personally, it's very likely that it didn't happen because I like to talk to people, at least before I get too intimate. That's my personal, so personally I would say no, but I know for a fact that people do it.
I will say also, I've never done it either, but it's
She
definitely a thing that happens.
She's definitely lying.
Especially with like social media, Tinder, especially, that seems to be like the vibe is just like, are you DTF, as they say, DTF, and there's no dates whatsoever. You just meet with that sole purpose. However, I don't know if COVID's maybe going to change that, because our boundaries around sharing physical proximity might shift a little bit. And also because it sounds like during COVID, for folks who have been dating, that's not possible anymore. So there's a lot more space and consideration about crossing physical boundaries because of COVID. So maybe that's going to have some influence. But generally speaking, it's for sure it's a thing that happens, that people consensually do. You know, as they say, gotta eat. Girls gotta eat sometimes.
Maybe we'll try it out tonight.
Ay, Silvia. Okay, Rio. Can't wait to see your video. Bye.
Peace out, homie.
Hello, Rio, and Rio's following. My name is Dianne Oliveira. I've known Rio for a very long time. In terms of whether or not I have sex before dating, currently I don't have sex at all because it's COVID and I live with my parents. But previously, and just like speaking openly about my experience, absolutely. Have I had sex with people that I really wanted to date and hoped that it would turn into a relationship? For sure. Have I had sex with people that I did not want a relationship with? For sure. I think when we're talking about this, sex is something so personal and so unique to that individual's beliefs or just where they're at that time in their life. People are out having sex for all kinds of different reasons. Is difficult to be honest about if you're not even sure what your reasons are for wanting to be with someone. You can end up hurting people or being hurt without even realizing or without even understanding what's going on. I think for a lot of people, just the prospect of being with someone can feel deeply validating and can feel like love if you can just get someone to want to be with you. Where I'm at now, I can finally own I feel like I can finally just be honest with myself and say, I don't want to have sex with people that I'm not in love with, which feels like totally backwards, or it feels like you know, oh, how like, you know, old fashioned, to like, aren't you liberated? Aren't you like empowered? And that was the narrative that I bought into for a long time of like, you know, if I'm able to just experiment and enjoy sex, then I have evolved. You know, I'm better. I'm living a better life. Nothing changes until you change, or until you can be honest about your intentions. You can meet someone and like have a vibe and hit it off, and then all of a sudden it's like you sleep together within like a couple days or a week of knowing each other, let's say, or like same day. Like just meet someone and like feel like, hey, what are you doing today? Do you want to do me today? It's so hard to like bridge the conversation of like, okay, do you want to be in a relationship? Like, what are we? Like, that's that freaking movie sitcom thing of like, what are we? Like, and it's such a, like, what is that about? Oh my God. I finally gained clarity for myself on like why I was reaching out for the kinds of connections I was reaching out for. I feel like I have more thoughts, but you probably have enough. Love you.
Hi, my name is Isis and I'm Ria's friend. We've known each other for many years. The question is, do you have sex before you start dating? And I would say yes. Because sometimes it's just nice to have sex and not be dating. Super cool when you meet someone and you just kind of like live in the moment and maybe have this moment of connection but then never see them again. There's something nice about that, I think, like romantic. So, you know. Thanks, Rio.
Hey, I'm Owen. I'm Rio's token queer and transgender friend from Canada. Have I personally, on more than one occasion, had sex with someone before getting into a relationship? Yes. I think the whole act from the very beginning is considered dating as soon as you go out for coffee. If you're gonna say, oh, once you make it official, why would you want to keep seeing someone that you don't enjoy having sex with? That just doesn't make sense to me. But at the same time, that might not be until you've had maybe 4 or 5 dates. Maybe you've been seeing each other for 6 weeks. Well, I think that all depends on yourself and the person that you're spending time with. If you're both comfortable, you're both consenting, you want to start having sex, then that's a conversation that you have. Or, you know, maybe the conversation is more the eyes that you give each other, that feeling, that rush where you just want to constantly be around each other and touch each other. If you want to hold out until you're officially dating, fine. You don't really want to be committed to someone where it's like, hey, this is terrible. Yeah, you can work on it together, because a big part of sex is trust and communication, and the longer you're together, the more you can work on that. When you get into it, if only one of you is really into it and the other person's not, then it's gonna be awkward and probably terrible. If one of you's communicating, the other one's not listening, and they're not thinking about you and your concerns, then the sex is going to be terrible, and that says something about them. You have to be present and aware of that, and if they just dismiss you, then you don't want to be dating them. You do what you want to do to make yourself happy, and as long as both people is consenting and being heard and is happy, there's no shame in it. Enjoy yourself.
Hey Rio, thanks for asking us to do this. I'm Andrew.
I'm Katie.
We're friends with Rio from Canada.
So, do couples in North America have sex before dating? I think that most often nowadays, yes, they do. And often they'll start as one-night stands that could become more than that. And I think that especially now, more than ever, because of dating apps and most people meet that way, that's more common than ever.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. A lot of couples have sex on the first date, and then either that turns into a relationship or it doesn't. I think that different kinds of dating apps also kind of influence a couple's
intentions.
Yeah, an attitude towards it. So whether they're on Tinder, the whole intention is to only have sex.
Compared to something like
Bumble,
Yeah.
which is more two people seeking a relationship, and I think in that case they would wait longer.
But in answer to the question, I think overall, yes, most people have sex before they officially start dating.
We did.
We did. Yes.
Yeah. Awesome. I think that's good. Thanks for asking us to do this.
Yeah. This was fun.
So,
Three.
think three.
So the question, do we have sex before we officially date someone?
Definitely yes. For example, like to us when we met, there was definitely the intention, I think, of making out the first night we met. But it was a Tinder date, and none of us was expecting it to go as well as he actually did.
Yeah.
You'll eventually like have the conversation is going like further, like are we boyfriend and girlfriend? It's not something that like before having sex you need to like finalize being in a relationship.
Yeah.
Otherwise you can't do that, right?
I would find it strange to not have sex with someone before I started officially dating them. Well, everyone's different. What you're looking for in that moment is going to be different. Like you could be having something casual with someone and things start to change, like feelings start to change, emotions start to change. It's important to always have those levels of communication open.
I mean, again, sex is not like something that's a milestone that needs to happen or whatever, it needs to stay. That's like, there's also this kind of, I think, this concept that like, I would say that like sex always comes before calling someone my girlfriend.
Just kind of see sex as like another need that like humans have. There's been a lot of weight put on it. Yeah, like I think in general there's been a lot more shame and guilt around it than it needs to be. Like it is. There's
always like the sad comparison that like if a man has a lot of sex, it's like it's an hero, and instead if a woman has a lot of sex, she's a bitch.
Yeah, exactly.
And that just doesn't make sense.
100%.
So definitely you should have sex before getting in a relationship with someone.
Yeah.
So, I think the general consensus of North Americans is that even though you personally do not have sex before you get into an official relationship, I think most people see it as it being normal. Please take this video with a grain of salt because these are my friends. I picked them myself. I asked them to be in this video. Perhaps there are millions of other people who will disagree with my friends and myself. If you do have any questions or if you have any comments you'd like to make, please definitely let me know in the comments section below. And other than that, I'll see y'all in the next video.